Hey everybody. I realized that I might have put the cart before the horse in my video series. I've been talking a lot about mental health, which is really important right now. But I mentioned that I'm a quad amputee. I mention it so you guys know if you've Googled my name, if you've read my book, if you've gone to my website, and then you kind of know some things about me. But I decided to do this YouTube channel because of a number of reasons. I feel like I have something to say to the world, and I want to be a public speaker, and I'm going to find my niche. Right now I've been doing artwork, getting some pretty good sales, some pretty good traffic on katiepaints.com, so if you want to check it out. Got some really good pieces. I've been working on some good stuff. So I try to stay focused on these positive things in my life. And the YouTube channel is a way for me to kind of vent, reach out to other people, and kind of give you guys my 2 cents. Because of my journey, there's a lot of worldly knowledge just about human nature, about mental health. But I don't know if you guys really understand the depths of hell that I've been in and why that is my motivation for reaching out to people. When somebody goes through the depths of hell, and I would imagine that there's a few of you on here that quite possibly have had some pretty horrendous stories, because we all don't get out of this earth unscathed. Am I right? Everybody's got trauma, and mine's just visible. Okay, there's a lot of deep inner core wounds I've been working on, and I'm smiling because I understand what it means now. The people that have treated me the worst are the best teachers that I've ever had. I mean, think about your journey. I'm going to put you on a hero's journey. You're going through your life, and what makes a good movie? A good villain. Am I right? Everyone's got to have a good villain. Or what are you working with? See, the devil's been given a bad rap, even though I don't think there is such a thing. But that negative energy, let's just call it negative energy, okay? And some people go down that path and they become it, and they do horrendous things to other people, and you're like, why did this have to happen? And how everybody says it's the devil. You couldn't be God, right? Didn't he create everything, but not the devil? See, that's always confused me. And what I have to start looking at all things, negative and positive, is this is just God's will, because he needs to feel everything we feel. We are little satellites with little antennas on our head. We're little crystalline energies sending information back up to God, and he's living through us. Each one of us are a piece of him, and we're on this eternal journey. So it isn't just one lifetime, it's multiple lifetimes, and it's incarnation, and trying to keep your karma good, trying to be the best person you could be so you don't have to come back here again. But then if you're floating in heaven and everything's great, then there's no motivation to grow. So you decide to come back down here because this is where the shit hits the fan. And so here I am in this body as the shit is hitting the fan. Like, this is the most tumultuous time in human history right now. Where we go, we're at a fork in the road. If we go AI, it's not going to end well for us. The Greys are trying to tell us don't do it. We went too technologically advanced. Now we can't reproduce. And we're trying to tell you not to do it. That's why they're landing and showing themselves. Why everybody has UFO sightings is they're trying to tell us, don't do the AI. It's a very strong message. It's coming through. I just didn't know if you knew. But anyway, we go the other route. We stay human. We gain our spirituality. We collect the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Gnostics and the Vedas, and we gather the spiritual information from ancient technology, and we start to use it, which is we need to be vibrating higher. We need to be using sound energy to heal ourselves, and we need to move into the next millennium where we're using quantum fluctuation, vacuum, and deciding and discovering how to get gone into space, because that's how the UFOs are working. They fold space-time, and they use this quantum fluctuation vacuum. They pull energy out of the atmosphere because they know how to do it. That's what their technology is. That's what our government's been so hush-hush about them, because they've been reverse engineering for so long. They've got all these new inventions. I mean, it's fabulous. The UFOs have done a huge service to us. Very exciting technology coming out. But for the masses, we get the high electric bills and the high gas bills and cutting our electricity off and having blackouts and brownouts and, you know, all the crap that's going on right now that everybody's just thinking is commonplace. And we can have free energy, but they're keeping the technology to themselves. It's making me crazy. I'm supposed to be talking about my journey in my book, and I'm going off. How did you get me to do that? You know, so I wanted you to know, being 41 years old and losing all your limbs after you're thinking you just gave birth to the most beautiful child and you're excited to become a new mom, and you instead end up in the hospital, and 3 months later you get to meet her and she didn't even know who you are, and having to build my life back with my 5-year-old telling the news broadcasters that mom can't do anything anymore, and she can't play ball with me, and you know, and I got so sick I couldn't make it to my daughter's graduation because my husband was giving me protein shakes that shut my kidneys down, and I was in ICU when she graduated. So I've missed these milestones in my children's lives, and now my son is gone. And so you have like a sadness that, why did this have to be my journey? It's been so painful. Like not being able to pick my little girl up or clean her diapers. You know, watching everybody take care of her for me, and now she's gone and she doesn't want anything to do with me because she thinks I'm a terrible mom, and I haven't been able to be the mom that I wanted to be. So that's kind of a hell that I live with every day, that it makes it hard for me to come on here and be the inspiration, because, you know, I'm in a lot of pain in my heart. And so one of my gurus, Matt Kahn, teaches you to love you, whatever's coming up for you. Love that. So when my heart is hurting, I just kind of cocoon myself with things that stimulate my brain. I'm learning all about the brain. I have so much to tell you about that. I've learned about ancient history and how we need to get, you know, embracing this technology. And that's what NASA's doing now. They're actually on a quest to find all that ancient information out so that they can recreate it, so that they can go through the stars, because that's what's hidden under the Sphinx. And all this information's coming out, but not to the masses. It's like you've got to, I'm subscribed to Gaia channel and Forbidden Knowledge with Billy Carson. That's where you're going to hear this background noise that isn't making it out to mainstream because they're trying to suppress it. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on that nobody really understands. Who's really in control, the deep state, how they're pulling this new world order together under our noses. You know, and it's like, what? And there's stuff I don't know. You guys could probably tell me some things. And, you know, I love your comments because I really enjoy, I feel like we're creating a community here of like-minded people. And if you're ever offended by my videos, I am sorry from the bottom of my heart. I never mean to offend anybody. These are my viewpoints, and I know that I've got some esoteric information, a little bit out of the wheelhouse of what religion is saying and governments are saying, and it's more progressive, thinking about this galactic idea that we are a galactic unified humanoid and spirit. Just look at our spirit, and follow the Native Americans that say some of us have a bear spirit or an eagle spirit. I mean, does anybody ever really get into that aspect of humanity? Like, I don't know. And then people are saying that we're from other planets. I don't know if you've heard that. That's a fascinating concept. It's different personality groups that you can see how they all are, like, one's from a water planet, one's a cat planet. I don't know if you know that, but cats have a planet, Lyra. And yeah, and Draco is the reptiles, right? So, and you got Andromeda. She's the one that brought the moon here, so she could stabilize our weather, so we would have a good human experiment. That's what we are. We're just an experiment down here. They created our DNA, they infused us with more compassion, and they're hoping that we turn this around. Because the only way to turn this whole mess around that we've created is to start loving each other and being kind and realizing that's the meaning of life. Being kind. That's it. That's the secret. But nobody wants to hear that. Everyone wants to hear, what's my purpose? Why am I here? To be kind. Find out what makes your heart sing. That's your purpose. This makes my heart sing. I like being a teacher. I like the spiritual aspects of things. I like talking about it. I like talking about consciousness. I like talking about where we're going as a human race, because the more we talk about it, the more we make it happen. Am I right? I mean, we're here right now. I wish I could have an interaction with you, because I want to hear what everybody else's opinion is. I mean, do you think I'm full of crap? There's some people that do. I've heard that already, and it's great. Because wherever I'm sounding like crap, or I don't have my screws loose or tightened or whatever, you can fill it in and say, I don't have that information. And I can say, well, if you're interested in learning what I've learned, I've already told you where to go. Matt Kahn, Riz, look for his meditations. Riz is a channeler. He is really interesting. The Gaia channel, it will change your world. I already said Matt Kahn. Kahn, by the way. Yeah, there's so many resources out there that are all like directing this whole new thinking about who we are as human beings, and how infinite our energy is, and how each lifetime is super important to get the lessons down. So your lessons are whatever has happened to you. What has come into your life? Who's come into your life? Who's hurt you the hardest? There's your lessons. That's your best teacher. That they're going to show you exactly where you need to love yourself. Al abandoned me. It taught me how to love my heart and be okay living alone. And I'm doing great, because I'm using the principles that I'm learning about how to love yourself when somebody says you're not for me, and you don't get devastated anymore, because your codependency goes away, because you don't need anyone but yourself and spirit. It's always there. You close your eyes, take a nap, go into a meditative state, open your very crown chakra at the very top of your mind, and allow that white light to just flow through your body. And I mean in your cells, like just white, sparkly light sparkling throughout your whole body. You're going to have a spontaneous healing. You are asking the universe, put your light, put your attention on me. I'm hurting. This is where I hurt. They're going to do a body scan, and they're going to send you some angels to support you. And you're going to have somebody contact you that gets you and say, hey, I'm out here and I hear you and I get it. And then you've made a contact with somebody. That's a dream for me. I like making contacts with people. I want to hear their stories. I'm tired of my story. Look, I did it again. I'm not even telling you about my book. And that's what I'm supposed to be doing here. Beautifully Broken, the Katie Hayes story. It's on Amazon. I've given you little tidbits. It's really well written, and a lot of people say that they have to read it all in one sitting, that it just draws you in. Like, how can you go from this healthy, vivacious mother of 3 children, busting her butt to make a living doing massage therapy for 17 years, keeping the house running, doing the lawn? I was a taxi driver, the cook, the lawn, the housekeeper. I did it all. When I got sick, it took 5 adults to try to do what I was doing in that house. Never did I watch TV during the day. Always working. And here I am, retired, nobody in my life anymore. I have oodles of time to finally spread my wings and learn this new information that's really super exciting out there. That's why I come on here, you guys, to let you know where I'm finding it so you can do your own journey, because, you know, everybody's got their own perspective, you know, and that's what we got to respect about each other. Perspective. I see things this way. You see things that way. I've already had people arguing with me about my viewpoint on here, and I'm like, you know what? That's awesome. Be skeptical. Ask questions. Go look for the information. Where are you going to find that the moon is parked like an RV? Where are you going to find out that the moon is hollow? It's actually a machine, and it was flown here from the Andromeda galaxy, or could have been the planet. We have two different locations for Andromeda. It's kind of interesting. But I mean, look at your movies. Look at your Star Wars. Look at your Jedi. You know, that was a pillar of power back in Egypt called a Jedi. And they use it in the freaking movie. I mean, so much of our pop culture is talking about this ancient technology. It's right under our noses. And the more you educate yourself by going to these places I tell you to go look for it, the more you listen, the more you learn, the more your eyes are open to what the truths are, a whole different perspective on life that gives me the power to stand on my own, to come to you on YouTube and tell you it's been a hard journey, but I'm surviving on this information. Very important. It feeds your soul. It gives you a reason, gives you a feeling of purpose. When you realize our true story of how we came down from the star people and the Anunnaki, they were giants, how they mated with sons of man or women of man. How does that verse go in the Bible? Anyway, the Bible talks about these extraterrestrials coming down and putting their DNA with ours, and how they came down on flying ships with smoke coming out of. I mean, what God that's all powerful needs a ship with smoke coming out of it? I mean, it's obviously, you know, a whole different gamut. But they called them gods, and that was God. And God was speaking to them, and they're kind of confused. You know, they're talking about extraterrestrials. They're not talking about God. But once you start getting knowledge like this, you start to see the cracks in the world religions and how they all really meant well. I don't poo-poo religion, so to speak, as I want to know the guts of each one and make my own mind up about my feelings about it. I see a lot of controlling going on with them. I see a lot of dogma and a lot of, you got to believe the way I'm saying it and how I believe it. And I have a hard time with that, because I think perspective, once again, is everything. And so if my perspective is this, why am I demonized out in public from my fellow religious people that see that I don't see eye to eye with all of their dogma? And so sometimes that keeps me from speaking my truth, which everybody has a truth and everybody should be speaking it. I don't see a problem. If I don't like what somebody has to say, I'm going to turn off the video and I won't watch them anymore. Everyone has that freedom to do that. But if you get an inkling of where I'm coming from and agree with me, because there's a lot going on right now that is shaking up our world, and I feel the need to connect with others of like mind that I would love to have rapport with. I want to create a podcast as soon as I get more finances coming in. That's why I need katiepaints.com. Get a painting today, because my finances are in the toilet right now. Honestly, folks, I need to get a job. But yeah, that's another topic. Anyway, it was joyfully, wonderfully visiting with you, and I know that I still stopped talking about my book, and I really wanted to. But yeah, get a copy, and then we can have some conversation. But I really want to be able to create a community where we can back and forth talk. And so I'm going to figure out how to make that happen, because I think it'll fill all our souls. And we all need that. We need that connection of spirit and knowing there's other people out there that think like us. I need it. And I really appreciate you being there, because this is fun for me. I just wish I could see you all and talk to you all, because it's like I'm talking to myself, you know. It's kind of weird. That's why it was hard for me to start doing these videos, because it's like, I'm just going to go in there and talk to myself, I guess. Like, okay, I can do it. Hey, I give the best advice, you know, all those things. Anyway, love you all. Mwah.